You're wondering who the best draft gem master set players are in NHL 23, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through just that. I need to remind everyone that this is strictly for competitive play. For the love of God, please take your favorite players in July. Let's get into it. All right, down in the C tier, no surprises here. The 98 Connor HELLEBUYCK, well, I think has a good build for goaltenders, and I use the All-Star HELLEBUYCK for a majority of the season. In comparison, there's just no way to rank him in a tier with the other players because, like I said, goaltenders all year have been the worst they have ever been. He checks every box that you would need in a goaltender, so if you are hut rich and just looking for a new goaltender, maybe give him a go, but in the terms of all of the other master set players from this event, this is a C tier card. All right, on to the B tier. We've got the 98 PATRIC HORNQVIST, 5'11", 189, and can get up to almost 99 across the board. By switching distributor out for buzzing, he would have 99 acceleration, 97 speed, and then again, 99 everything else. He is a pure winger. You can't play him at center. And it's a very fun card. Gold Truculence, Big Tipper, Total Eclipse, Close Quarters, and No Contest. Again, activating these abilities are just pretty much the most chaotic that you can put on a card in NHL 23. You guys know that I love tipping home the big ones. That said, there are far more impressive right-handed wingers, including from this very event, which is why HORNQVIST is in the B tier. Joining him in the B tier is his left-handed counterpart in ONDREJ PALAT. Unlike HORNQVIST, he can get to 99 everything. It is slightly bigger at 6', 194. He also has Gold Truculence. However, PALAT comes with wheels, elite edges, and then also has Close Quarters and No Contest. Again, not a bad card by any stretch of the imagination, and with Gold Truculence can make him quite fun, especially if you're trying to build like a Tampa Bay Lightning theme team, for example. But at this stage of the game, if you are trying to get a competitive edge and just have better cards on your team, there are going to be bigger, better left-handed wingers that you can go out and acquire. Lastly, in the B tier is the 98 John Klingberg. Now, his size at 6'3" is actually quite impressive and quite useful in this game. However, the combination of his abilities and the fact that he's only 190 is what keeps him in the B tier in comparison to some of the other dominant right-handed defensemen that we've gotten over the last few events, including the Hut Millennium event, which gave us Rob Blake and Adam Foote. He's got gold elite edges, tape to tape, 1T, Seeing Eye, and Heat Seeker, which makes him a pretty fun offensive defenseman. And for a certain type of player, that might actually be quite useful. Like I mentioned before, while I think the wraps and everything like that are completely dumb, the randomness and actually setting up tip shots in this game is hilarious to me. And when you combine Seeing Eye with some of the other, big tipper abilities, it's a pretty fun combination. However, like I mentioned, there's just too many other good right-handed defensemen that have much more useful abilities. On to the A tier. And again, if you've been following my content for quite some time when it comes to ranking cards, you might have been surprised that, in my opinion, the best week 1 card from the Draft Gems event was the 5'10", 202 KIRILL KAPRIZOV. Now, obviously, 5'10" is an issue in game, and I hope that they find a way to address that in future NHL games. However, 202 and anything above, weight does come into play. It isn't as impactful as height, but weight does play a factor. You combine that with the fact he's got Silver Unstoppable Force, Close Quarters, and if you really wanted some extra agility, Elite Edges. Again, I've talked about Elite Edges for quite some time. I just don't think it's as a good ability later on in the year, simply because of the cost and everyone having 99 agility. But he's 99 across the board, and if you are looking for a left-handed forward that is quite fun to use, KIRILL KAPRIZOV would be it. Also in the A tier, the 98 Josh Manson. Now, I'm not going to lie. If he had even Silver Truculence, this is an S tier card. He's 6'3", 218, 98 speed, 97 acceleration with gold shutdown and silver stick 'em up, which makes him one of the better defensemen in the game. The reason why he's in the A tier is simply because shutdown, while it costs 8 points and does the ability of Truculence and stick 'em up all in one, it doesn't activate consistently in your own zone, because, well, it's supposed to activate only off the rush, even though it does activate more than that. So you can't rely on it when you were trying to bump people off the puck in the defensive zone, and that's the only thing keeping me out of the S tier. If you needed a right-handed defenseman and didn't want to go with Foote or Blake, Manson is a fantastic option for you. And then his left-handed counterpart, the 98 LINDELL, 6'3", 220, and essentially the exact same card. You kind of have to choose between speed or acceleration if you want to get that closer to 99, as he doesn't have a secondary synergy slot for speed, but you can again choose between speed or acceleration. Everything else is 99, and exactly like I said with Manson, if he had even Silver Truculence, it would bump him up into the S tier. So if you are looking for a impressive left-handed defenseman, LINDELL would be it. On to the S tier. Obviously, we've got the 99 TAGE THOMPSON. We've been waiting for this card for quite some time, and I apologize to any of the Team of the Season TAGE THOMPSON owners. I still think your card's better. However, TAGE THOMPSON cards have been, throughout the entire year, some of the most fun to use. I think back to the launch of the game. He got a primetime card that had unstoppable force, and you literally couldn't knock him off the puck when everyone was using, middle to high 80 overalls. 6'6", 220. The only thing holding him back from making him one of the greatest cards in the game is simply just that he doesn't have unstoppable force. Elite edges, like I mentioned, can help out. 1T just doesn't in this game compared to last year's game. Quick drop does have its usefulness. Tape to tape does not. Either does make it snappy. And then close quarters is the best offensive ability in my opinion. But again, don't overthink it. I think that he is definitely worth trading in everyone and getting to 99. There's just obviously some small things that I would rather have on him, but don't overthink it. This is a phenomenal card and definitely in the S tier. And then also in the S tier is the 98 ONDREJ. And low key, he might be better than TAGE THOMPSON simply because of silver unstoppable force. Again, some people in my community have talked about TAGE THOMPSON getting knocked around a little bit by some of the behemoths that have truculence. But again, I think I still rather have TAGE THOMPSON in general. The reason why ONDREJ is in the S tier is because he gets 3 skating synergies, which you might not notice at first glance. He gets Workhorse and Spark in his first slot, and then Fly the Zone and Wingman in his second slot, meaning that he gets up to 97 acceleration and 98 speed at 6'3", 235 with silver unstoppable force and gold close quarters. If you are looking for a left-handed winger, and you don't really care about who it is and simply are just looking for the most competitive card, ONDREJ is one of the best left-handed wingers in the game currently. This reminds me a lot of Jaromir Jagr's Team Builder card. And then lastly, again, his right-handed counterpart. It looks like they've given us 2 options, one of each hand of almost the exact same build. And again, same situation. He's got acceleration synergies for the first slot and skating synergies on the second slot, meaning that he can get up to 98 speed and 97 acceleration, gold close quarters, and silver unstoppable force. 6'3", 217. We wait all year for usable Mark Stone cards, and this is no different. He's going to be an absolute nightmare to knock off the puck and comes with some of the best abilities in the game, which is why he is in the S tier and one of the better cards to make. Now, let me know your feedback and the players that you have used and how they have played for you in the comments section down below. I love to hear the community's feedback. And again, these are all for competitiveness, the players that want to know which is the best, in my opinion, in-game cards from this event. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.